it goes without saying that men are attracted to women. They're physically attracted. Is that something that men just need to get over? Or what? No, it isn't. Okay. So then how should men handle that attraction to women, physical attraction?
Oh, sure. Well, you just have to, of course, control it. I mean, the desire is good. God put it there. It can do a lot of damage when it's not pointed in the right direction, but it can break.
It's a good thing. It's meant to.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's why else would we have? You wouldn't have families and marriages, right? If you turned off that desire, like why would any? Well, for several reasons, why would men be fathers then, right? But like, you never would get to that point. Like God, I think God makes it. There's supposed to be like the white hot flame between a wife and husband, where you're that close, the two become one, and then from that you can have children. You can, and you all love each other. You're a family unit, right? And and honestly, I mean, men and women both give up a lot in marriage, but men give up a lot. Men give up their freedom, independence, lots of things. It sure doesn't hurt if she's attractive and physically attractive, but also just has an attractive,
demeanor,
that just kind of goes without saying. Right. I mean, of course. I mean, I don't even know why anyone would argue that for men and women, that of course you should be all you can be, or you should have I think men and women should have a certain humility of thinking, like as a man, I try to think, okay, I'm not a woman, but
granted,
what would a woman like? And it doesn't hurt. Like, guys can be pretty dumb or pig-headed, right? Guys can say, oh, I am what I am, and that's that. Like, okay, well, what if you're not what women like? Or what if you'd be a terrible husband in your current state? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think that physical attraction between men and women is a good thing. And I think it's good. It's not only acceptable, but it's good that men are physically attracted to women. It's a good thing. I think, though, guys focus so much on that. That and especially nowadays with it's so easy. It's so easy to gratify that part of yourself that I think it's kind of like sugar. Like no good cake doesn't have sugar. I've never had a cake that doesn't have sugar in it. But sugar on its own is no good either.
I think so.
It'll rot your teeth. You'll get sick. It doesn't really even taste that good on its own. So it's only good when mixed with other things.
I think so.
And guys have gotten themselves hooked on the sugar. And they're chasing pure sugar, when instead, like, no, like, hey, don't worry, like, that's the easy part, being attracted to sugar. Everyone likes sugar. Appreciate the other things, and then you can mix it with sugar, and it will be great.
I think so.
Yeah.
For when you do spoil your taste, like, you can probably think of a time when you were a kid when you just way overdid the candy or the sugar or whatever, and you ever get to that point where, like, you're actually sickened by the sweetness, like the next piece of candy actually.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thanksgiving. I get that all the time.
Yeah. You still get that on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we're not that far out.
Yeah. No. Well, no, obviously the physical attraction is good. I think this is just part of keeping your head. Okay, so it's nothing wrong with being attracted to attractive women and all this. You just need to be the master of it. It has to not be the master of you, right? Also, just keep in mind that, hey, this is kind of what I want to tell to people, to anyone, young men, including myself or my younger self. But listen, being attracted to a woman or being sexually attracted to a woman, that's fine, but that's not evidence. That's not admissible evidence that you belong with that girl, right? Like, that's the easy part. Don't you see? Like, using your sugar analogy, like, no, anything that has sugar in it is going to taste good. Like, anything with high calories is going to taste good.
So you're saying, like, when you're evaluating whether a girl is right or not, that's the easy standard. There should be tougher standards.
Right.
Could it be, I know you've said this before, is that it's wiser to put the toughest test first? You know?
Yes.
Is that what you're getting at?
I think I kind of am. Yeah, because the easy test, that's probably one of the easier ones, physical attraction, right?
Because you know it right away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's instant.
Well, yeah, and just think of just anything. Think back to your class in high school, or think of anything, especially when people are young and at their best and everything. Well, there might have probably half the girls in your class you could be attracted to, whatever the number is, right? So, like, if you're really honest, say even when you were young, like, which girls would you want to kiss? Or like, where would the cutoff point be, right? Like, there'd be guys or girls, right? There'd be pretty, it's not that hard to be physically attracted to someone of the opposite sex. That's the easy part. That's not a very good filter. But if you start with the other filter, like maybe the less glamorous things, like, oh, does this person have good character? Well, then maybe you lop off, okay, maybe only 10% of the people even make the initial cut. And then, hey, there's nothing wrong with part of it. Like, I think both things are untrue. I think it's young men often put way too much emphasis on looks or the attraction or whatever. But it's also really dumb. It's kind of fashionable for some people to say, oh, looks don't matter. What do you talk about? Oh, you should love me for who I am or whatever. I think, well, no, like once you're committed, then you're committed. But like, you don't commit yourself to someone you're not attracted to. That's just silly. That's almost a non sequitur. So,
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's a good thing God made it.
Yeah.
It's not, you shouldn't apologize for liking delicious food.
Yeah.
It's just, if you only eat high calorie foods, it's not good for you, you know?
Well, yeah. And just human nature is to, like we talk about, diets and fitness. Like some of you guys, we all have different approaches. Like you're one of the ones who counts calories, literally counts them or whatever, which is a good approach.
Usually.
Yeah. Or I guess counting is the same. Like, yep, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, we've often used this analogy, but like human nature is to go over your limit, right? Like you rarely have, oh man, I forgot to eat enough sweets today.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's like that with the physical thing, that no, it definitely has its place, but that God designing it where like that'll come so naturally. Like I doubt there are many, men and women who get married for the right reasons and everything else, but then like don't know what comes next or thinks, wait, wasn't there supposed to be some physical attraction?
Yeah, right.
That part's so... Yeah. But and by the way, it's like everything else, it's God made all the good things, right? God made all the desires. The devil just tries to pervert the good things. In fact, the more powerful, I kind of have a theory, it's not really my theory, but like the more powerful something is, the more good it is, like the greater damage it can do, right?
Yeah.
It's like a powerful tool or like a powerful vehicle or whatever,
That's right.
But I think that's it's funny that the world, sometimes people act as if like the world kind of owns this one.
Yeah.
Or
God owns the copyright to sex.
Yeah,
he invented it, so he gets to say how you should use it. And so it's a mistake to try to steal the copyright, but it's also a mistake to then say it's bad.
Yes.
God made it.
Exactly. So. That's one of my tricks. Like say I'm watching a movie or something and say there's something risque or something that you didn't plan on seeing. And it's tempting. For one, hopefully you don't ogle. Hopefully you look away and make the right choice. But sometimes I'll just almost under my breath say like, thank you, God, or like, that kind of thing.
Well, I mean, you can turn it into a prayer. You can't hide anything from God, you know? So instead of try to act like straighten up, hope God didn't see you. You can let God into it and say, oh man, there's my nature again, God. Yeah, thank you. Can you help me control this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And just your nature is always going to be kind of like the dog on a leash trying to pull you in every direction. You just have to not be led by it.
Yeah.
I know that's easier said than done, but at least you should be trying. There's no excuse not to try, right?
Right.